Northern California. And the girls are watching.
Kubo and the two-string.
They're watching Kubo and the two-string. We're trying something out here we've never done before. I'm gonna open the chat, make sure I can see it. Okay, chat viewing options.
Top chat.
Top chat. Live chat. All right. So at least hopefully I can see if anybody jumps in. Apologies that we did not do our Saturday morning show. We are at 3 hours late. The latest I've ever been on my YouTube channel.
Really?
I think 3 hours late is a record, yeah. I think 3 hours late. Jennifer's here. It is a late day show, Jen. I don't know how well the sound is working. I'm using one of these. I don't know if that works or not.
Those are really good.
Are they really good microphones? There you go. So we're in the car, going on vacay. Left 6 hours ago, and now we're working our way north. And we saw Thor the other night. I know you get those notifications. I hope the sound works okay for you. But we saw Thor: Love and Thunder last night, and we got some thoughts. I'm also trying to teach my wife a little. She's driving. I'm not driving. Teach my wife a little bit about Sandman and what Sandman is, because I want her to get ready for the show that's coming. And now I've read one of the 3 volumes for Sandman. We're not driving to Portland. That's pretty darn far. I think if we ever go to Portland, we might consider flying there, because we've driven all the way basically to the border of Oregon and California. That was like 4 or 5 summers ago, and that was a long drive. That took several nights staying along the way. I don't know if we are ready for the drive to Portland. That sounds like you need at least 2 weeks, I think, to really enjoy something like that and not be just exhausted driving the whole time. All right, girls, we are 3 minutes in. Girls, can I get your quick reviews, your quick thoughts on Thor: Love and Thunder? Kate, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Here, you want to put that closer to you?
Hello. It was really good. It was funnier than a lot of Marvel movies that I've seen, and honestly Marvel shows as well. I really liked it. I love Thor. Chris Hemsworth is so funny in it, and the cameos that characters make are really cool, and there's a lot more girl power.
We're not going to spoil it, by the way.
I know.
We're not going to ruin it. It just came out. We would never ruin a movie like this.
Yeah.
We're just giving some overall thoughts.
Yeah. It was really good. It was really funny. It was really action-packed. It was really funny. Like, really, really funny. Is it Taika Waititi?
Taika, yeah, is the filmmaker. He's also the voice of
Korg.
Yeah.
He's so funny. His character, his directing, he's so good. I love him. Anyways,
Okay.
back to you.
What about you, Charlie? What are your thoughts? Oh, by the way, Charlie is a new girl in some ways. You want to get... Let me get a little closer to Charlie. What do you got there, Charlie?
Braces.
She's got braces. The brace face, Charlie.
Or metal mouth.
Metal mouth, Metallo.
It's like a cheese grater on your face.
Magneto.
Magneto. All right. It is Neato. Okay, Charlie, what are your early thoughts here on Thor: Love and Thunder?
I liked the humor. I really liked the storyline and like where things took place. I liked, like I said, the humor was really good, and like Kate said, Chris Hemsworth was like really funny and really good in it. I think that
I know, braces, right? Jenner's like, braces.
And I definitely like love Taika Waititi, and I love like what he's been doing with Thor, and I think he's continued to be very victorious in my book.
I feel like you girls need to see a couple of his other movies, like Jojo Rabbit and
I really wanna
The
see
Wilder People, which I don't know if it's called Hunt for the Wilder People or something with the Wilder People. I think they're both streaming, and they're both really, really great. I think you'd like them a ton. For me, I did not love this movie. It is definitely lower on my list than Ragnarok, personally. I think Ragnarok, it just seemed, it flowed a little better. It was more natural. I'm not going to trash talk it, Matt. I know Matt's a big fan. He really loved it. I just feel like there were two mistakes for me. One, I think the tone was a little bit off. I think they went a little too heavy with the comedy for me. Hunt for the Wilder People. There it is. Excellent, Jen. Thank you. And yeah, we're on a road trip for sure. So the tone was a little too silly. And the bigger issue for me, the big problem I had, which was my worry from the beginning, was that they would try to take the entire Jason Aaron run that amounted to, years of comics and try to make it into one movie. And I just didn't think it worked. So I felt like I think this first movie should have been Jane Foster light and gore heavy. And the second film should have been Jane Foster heavy and Thor light. He should have been, and then the third film should have been about him retaking the hammer and her passing away. Like, I just felt like putting it all in one movie was too much for me. It just didn't flow right. And as a result, I think things got truncated and didn't have the emotional weight that they could have had. I feel like her death should have been a big deal. I feel like her cancer reveal should have been a big deal. And it was just it felt a little thrown in. So in that way, I guess I guess you could argue if my biggest complaint is I wanted more, it's not a huge complaint. But when you compare it to Ragnarok, which for me is a top 5 MCU movie, and I know for my girls it's a top 3 maybe. Ragnarok's way up there. I think this movie is far lower on the list for me. Would be ranking near the bottom for me of MCU movies overall. And that's just after the first viewing. Maybe after a second viewing I would feel differently, but after a first viewing I just was disappointed. And it might be my expectation. It's possible I expected a lot from it, because I do truly think the Jason Aaron run is the quintessential Thor run for me. So it's one of the first things Kate and I reviewed on our YouTube channel. Kate read through those books and did a great job breaking. Yeah, it was great. Take the time, read the God of Thunder, like 25 issues, then read the Goddess of Thunder storyline, next 25, 30 something issues, and I think you'll get a real sense for what he's doing. You can buy them now in an Omni, you can buy them in complete collections. They're really great. It's just worth the time. It's just a really good, well-written story. Any other thoughts, ladies? Anything we missed?
Not really.
I mean, we didn't talk about Natalie Portman a lot.
She was really cool.
Natalie Portman, yeah. They did a great job with, I mean, I got a little weepy when she passed. When you get to the end. I got a little weepy. There at the end. But I just wanted more from her. That's all I really wanted. And
she just felt like she got sprinkled in a little.
Hey,
she should have been in there more.
There you go.
More girl power.
Yeah, I would have liked a Valkyrie Jane movie separate to this. And I feel like it would have been nice if I wanted this movie to end with the reveal that she's dying. I didn't want the whole cancer thing in this. So I wanted that to be the reveal, so that the next movie was all about how being Thor is killing her. And I wanted Hemsworth not to know. I wanted it to be kept a secret so that his reaction could happen later. That we could see him react to that later. I don't know. But, I'm not writing this stuff. I trust the MCU to get it right, but this time they really didn't for me. Sorry. Hope I didn't spoil things there for people.
Yeah, you did, bro.
Bro.
I mean, it's kind of canon.
See, Jen, what did I told Jen, like Kate loves to say bro and bruh.
Bruh.
Yeah. So there you go.
It's fun. It's easy to say. It's kind of easy to just throw in there.
So there you go. 9.5 minutes in, and we all reviewed Love and Thunder for you, gang.
I also kept talking in the movie theater on accident.
You were talking to Mom?
No. Like, something would happen, and I forget we were in the movie theater, so I say something like, oof, or like, wow. And then other people in the back or behind us would start laughing, and I'm like,
bruh, you see what you
really
wrote?
Totally spoiled it, bro.
Well, Charlie, it's okay. Maybe we're used to home theater experiences, so you just you went for it.
I saw that.
It's fine.
All right. So you guys gonna go back to watching your movie?
No.
You're okay to hang with us? It's paused.
Since it's pop-ups, the scenes you can't skip certain like.
But
it's
can
all
you pause
grouped
it,
into
right?
4 different, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's all grouped into
No, it's
4
not
different
paused.
scenes.
It's
so if you skip a whole like 40 minutes of a movie.
Oh, yeah.
Not 40 minutes, like 20 minutes. But so right now it went back, and so it's playing. So I'm just waiting. Kate's not really watching it anymore. I'm watching it.
Ariel's in the chat. Hi, Ariel. How you doing?
So I'm just gonna wait till it's done, and when it's done, I talk back and listen to him.
All right. I was gonna just spend time explaining to your mom what Sandman is to the best of my abilities. So, yeah, you can totally listen. So I've read the Volume 1 Sandman Omnibus, and the TV show is coming at the start of August. I think it's like August 5th or something. That Netflix is going to drop the first season of Sandman. I'm very excited for this, very, very interested in this. It's so for those that don't know, like my wife, and she's stuck. She has to listen to me. She can't get away. Nothing to be done for it. This was basically Neil Gaiman's attempt to create a mythology, an entire series of gods and relationships between them inside of the DC universe. Jennifer is flipping excited for Sandman. Me too. So sorry, Becky, says Ariel. She's
It's alright, I'm used to it.
Yeah, she's used to this. This is not new. For those that don't know, in the Silver and Golden Age, there were Sandmen characters in DC, but they were really ridiculous with like purple capes and like they ran around as like superheroes, and they had like bizarre dream-related powers like the Sandman dust that make people go to sleep and stuff. They did not do very well as comic book series, and they kind of died off. And Neil Gaiman decided he wanted to sort of reinvent that whole universe in a mythology that he could control. So the first storyline had to do with an old man in England who, using mystical forces, is trying to capture the goddess of death, or the god of death, so that he can avoid dying. So he creates like a magical circle on the ground in his house, in his mansion, and casts a spell to try to capture death with the circle. And he captures the god of dreams instead. He captures the Sandman. And is very upset about this. And he steals away the Sandman's like magical items, his bag of magical dust. He has this like crown. He calls it his crown, but it looks like an old World War I gas mask. And I believe the other thing is a scroll or something. He takes 3 items away from the Sandman and leaves him trapped there, and keeps begging him to elongate his life. Like, help me to live. I don't want to die. I'm getting old. I don't want to die. Sandman doesn't speak to him. He just sits there in silence. And that's like the very first few pages. Then you watch that man get older and older and become more and more frustrated that the Sandman won't talk to him and won't help him. And when he dies, his son takes over and does the same thing. Keeps him captive, wants to find out the secret to immortality. Can I connect? Jennifer, come back! Did I freeze? I am out in the middle of nowhere, so it's possible this is the end. It's possible that you have caught the final moments of this. Did I die, Jennifer? Am I still here? Uh-oh. This could have been the end.
It doesn't show you if you're connected.
Well, it's counting down. I'm here, says Jennifer. Okay. Jen, I count on you. You're kind of breaking up. I mean, I'm inconsistent at best. So, at one point, the son is in a wheelchair, and when he turns his wheelchair, it breaks the circle that they had drawn on the ground. Golden Age Sandman was created by Gardner Fox, who created so many characters like Dr. Fate, Hawkman, Batgirl, Zatanna, and the Justice Society. That's my man. Big John, what's up, John Big Daddy Ross? So when he breaks the circle, Sandman starts to figure out a way to escape. And of course he does. This is all within the first issue of the comic. And the main story is, once he's set free, he has to reclaim his kingdom and his power as the god of dreams and nightmares. He's been very weakened and drained over 100 years of captivity. He doesn't have his 3 vital tools to his power, so he's got to find where they've gone in the universe. He has to speak to John Constantine, who is a magic user within the DC universe. They did a movie with him, Keanu Reeves played him. He's been on TV series. And he's connected to mystical, magical kind of things. He needs John to help him find his bag of sand. And the main crux of the first omnibus is really looking at what is the Sandman's power, where has it gone, and how does he get it back? Oh, it's a jewel. The third item was a jewel, a red crystal. And so he's got to reclaim these things. He's also got a family of 6 brothers and sisters who are the various gods of the human experience, right? Death and desire and despair. And the relationship between all the gods and goddesses is also at the center of the story, and how they work together or against each other and believe that they are the epitome of the human experience, whether it's what you desire and what drives you, or the despair of life and the tragedy of life, or the end of life, the death, and what, death defining your existence. Or in the case of dream, Morpheus believes that dreams are the essential quality of life, what you hope and dream for, or what scares you and frightens you on the inside. So yeah, it's a very metaphysical kind of existence. There's a lot of like poetry and deep thought on here, but mostly the Sandman book seems to have a desire to illuminate the human experience through those classically God kind of Greek storylines, right? God kind of things. So people who like those, mythologies would find something, I think, interesting in Sandman by Neil Gaiman. And that's what the first omnibus. Now there's a ton more to this, and the Justice League is mentioned and things like that come into the comic, but I'm sure those things will be kind of cut from the Sandman series, and the focus will be more on him trying to regain his power. So there you go.
Sounds good.
I am on the road. Kyle, how's it going? Promiscuous Time Traveler is in our chat. And I just got done talking a little bit about Sandman, and the girls at the top of the show were doing Thor, Love and Thunder. And I felt guilty a little bit of our travel time to chat. Is Neil Gaiman's Sandman based on the old Sandman comic? I picked up the old first issue last year and forgot I wanted to read it, said Ariel. So yeah, they do reference those books. And what Neil Gaiman said was those things existed, but that those were people over the 100 years that he was gone using his tools without his permission. So that the Sandman in those early comics were using certain elements of his power, whether it was the crystal, whether it was his bag of sand, or whether it was his mask. They were using those things, but that they were never the real Sandman. They were just, cheap imitations. Can I lean this back at all? Nope, I can't lean this back. Yeah, I'll scoot down a little. So in that way, it was more the idea that Neil Gaiman's was the true version, and what we had seen previously were imitators who were running around. Even though they predated him in comic book form, it's because he was in captivity during those years, which was a very clever way to tie up continuity between original stories and his own, right? Sorry, I got a little parched there. I was speaking too much. 20 minutes in, and we've got the two main things I wanted to talk about out of the way. Kate, what did you bring to read on this trip? We all packed a lot of good reading material. What did you bring to read, Caters?
I brought Paper Girls.
Oh, Kate's reading Paper Girls.
Yeah. So I brought I already finished the first graphic novel of it. So I brought the second, third, and fourth one.
Oh, so she's got a bunch of Paper Girls. She's booked on JP's Budget Collecting's Paper Girls group chat. Here, you want me to hold those up?
Yeah, sure.
In the coming months. So here, are they backwards to me? They're backwards to me. Hopefully they're not backwards to you guys. Paper Girls. There they are. The TV series for Paper Girls is coming up here too. I got those out of order. This is 2, and this is 3, and that first one I showed you was 4. So there you go.
Yeah.
We'll add order.
Sorry.
So you've read the first volume.
Yes.
Ariel, I have only read the first third of Neil Gaiman's Sandman run. There's 3 omnibus for that. Omnibuy. And I've read the first one. And I brought the second one on this trip, so I'll be trying to read the second. So I'll be 2/3 done if I'm able to do it. Charlie, what did you bring to read? Us.
I don't know if I need to remember.
Oh, you don't remember what you brought?
Oh, I brought Cleopatra in Space.
Ooh, the Cleopatra in Space series of graphic novels.
Monster Friends.
Monster Friends.
About cute little monsters.
About cute monsters. Okay, that sounds good.
And a 200-page Batman book.
Oh, the big, oversized Silver Age Batman book. It's black and white, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of those like collected edition Batman books. Yeah. Is it the Brave and the Bold one? I can't remember. I get every once in a while my LCS has one of those
Brave
for
and
cheap.
Bold.
Want me to hold it up? Yeah, so this is Brave and the Bold Volume 1. Whoa!
It's more like Batman team-ups than...
So you get all kinds of things. Batgirl. Sometimes Wonder Woman was in here, right? Superman. There's Green Lantern. So let's see here. Oops, sorry.
Don't spoil too much for me.
I'm not going to spoil it, but Green Lantern's in there a little bit. I'm going to need a review of these books that Kate and Charlie read on this trip. You got it, Jen. We'll make it happen. On our drive back next Saturday, we can talk about those. There you go, Charlie. Oh, we got some cars we're passing on the road here. All right. And as for I always bring a short box. Oh my gosh, I just realized I think I left my short box at home. I usually bring a short box, and I did not pack my short box. Just now. Just so I wasn't my son. Yeah. Right now, sitting here with you guys, I realize I left my short box at home. Good thing I packed some actual novels to read. So at least I have something to read, but I did not bring my second Sandman omnibus, so I am out of luck on that.
Comic book stores in Sacramento?
Are there comic book stores in Sacramento? I'm not going to buy stuff. I got enough that I need to get read. I like my wife's thinking here. Sacramento, maybe we get some stuff there. I do have some digital tools. Clever. That's clever. I was going to read some stuff, and I have the Marvel app, so maybe I could read some Marvel stuff. But yeah, I packed a short box. It was, I spent a lot of time packing that short box. A lot of time planning what would go in that short box. And then I left it. Oops. I didn't put it by the door like I should have, or the garage. Oh well, but I am reading a comic book related book that you all might appreciate, that I posted on my Instagram the other day about the history of Claremont and what he went through creating the X-Men second version. So I'm enjoying that a bunch. That one I did bring. I packed the novels into my suitcase, and I had packed the short box separately. The short box had a bunch of stuff, Jen. It had Decorum, the hardcover for Decorum. It had Wolverine and the X-Men by Jason Aaron. It had Rick Remender's Uncanny X-Force, a bunch of the trades for that. It had is it Saturday Morning Murders? What's the Sunday morning, Monday Murders? Is it Hickman's something Monday Murders? I had packed that. I think the second and third volumes of Bitterroot, and of course the omnibus for Sandman. I had a bunch of good stuff in there, and I didn't bring it. Black Monday Murders. There it is. That one. So I had a bunch of good stuff in there that I'd been waiting to read, and I thought I'd have a lot of time to break. And now I guess I'll have to read either digitally or the novels that I brought. As far as novels I brought, man, it's gonna bug me. But anyways, as far as novels that I brought, my dad recommended a novel called The Greatest Beer Run Ever. And it's the story of a veteran from the Korean War or the Vietnam War, early in the Vietnam War, who was home after his tour was done and at a bar hearing about some friends that were still in Vietnam, and he wished he could have a beer with them. So what he did was he basically pulled together all his resources to buy a huge amount of beer and got hired on a merchant marine vessel and went to Vietnam and spending all this time traveling through the country, finding GIs and having beer with them all through the war. And it's his journey that this guy went on, and it sounds incredible. So I brought that book. I don't read a ton of nonfiction, but that idea just kind of clicked with me and I had to bring it. And then I'm a big Roald Dahl fan, author of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And I have not read a couple of his books, and I brought one of those called The Magic Finger, which I've never read. So that one's in my luggage. And I think I brought two other. I tend to bring a ton of books on trips, comic and otherwise. So I should have something to read, but I don't know how much I've got. Let's see how long it lasts me. I don't remember bringing anything like it was a real beast of book, because I expected I'd be reading comics most of the time. Oopsie daisy. Thanks, Charlie. Brace Face is taking care of me.
Metal mouth.
You prefer Metal Mouth?
No, I'm just gonna say it. Like every time you say brace face, I'll say metal mouth. Every time you say metal mouth, I'll say brace face.
Okay, that works. For those that didn't hear, Charlie got braces on Thursday, right? Thursday, yeah. So she is my brace face gal. Metal Mouth. So I'm gonna log us out here. It's been a short half hour. I hope everybody's, oh, look, stuffed animals. Hello, stuffed animals. We are, on our road trip, and I'll say hi to folks on Instagram and things. I just wanted to say a little short hi while we're here, stuck in a car. And we'll do the same next Saturday around the same time, probably on our way home. So I hope everybody has a on the other side. Bye.